Do you think that Serbs and Croats are going to feel that they've achieved that they've got an answer of what actually happened?
No, I think that what they will do is wonder why their leaders went into these cases, which were clearly absolutely idiotic from the very beginning. I mean, everybody knew that genocide had not been committed in Serbia by Serbs or by Croats in the war in Croatia. And so these were done for political reasons, and as you said, millions have been wasted on this. The judge and the court tried to dissuade the parties to step back for political reasons. They couldn't do it once they'd started. So it was a complete waste of time.
So you don't think this in any way closes what was a very nasty chapter in the region's
because it was a
history?
total waste of time, because the vast majority of all the cases related to the former Yugoslavia have been dealt with at the international, of course, basically very close by, at the ICTY, which is the UN tribunal specifically for the former Yugoslavia. And we know, because there have been judgments at the ICTY and at the International Court of Justice, that there was one case of genocide in the former Yugoslav wars, which was in Bosnia, in Srebrenica in 1995. And everything else, horrible as it may have been, was not genocide, and everybody knew that.
How are relations between Serbia and Croatia now?
Well, they've much improved over the last decade or so. There's all sorts of business and transactions. Occasionally there are spats between them. In the last year or so, there have been sort of some unpleasant disagreements and unpleasant things said. But basically, they're neighbours and they get on as neighbours.
But when you look at the history of this region over hundreds of years, this last 20 years is just this tiny moment of time. How easy is it, if you scratch the surface, to find these old hatreds and resentments about what happened? How do the younger generation feel in these two countries now?
Well, I mean, interesting question, because there are surveys which have shown that the younger generations tend to be sort of rather more nationalistic than their parents, and probably what places like this will do is not sort of. It is kind of, in many ways, it's kind of ironically, it won't kind of reveal the truth to them. It will kind of consolidate people in the things that they believe anyway, which is basically, with everybody in the former Yugoslavia, is that everybody else was guilty except our leaders and our military men, and we were not guilty, and that's what most people believe. Although, as I said, I think that now there will be some people, perhaps a few people who will say that the Croats, by their own admission, spent 3.8 million euros on this, and the Serbs spent 800,000 euros, and they don't have the money to waste on cases which were specifically done for political reasons and were idiotic.